I guess we can move straight into the next one, and this one that saddens my heart, but also is a really great thing, I think, overall for his move, for his career. That's Christian Pulisic to AC Milan. As sad as I am to see him go from my favorite club, he wasn't getting a lot of game time with us. He wasn't playing particularly well with us. Um, and I think this is a huge move for the US star because I think AC Milan is the perfect landing spot for Pulisic.
Yeah,
I think he fits
absolutely.
really, really well into this team. He should get close to 90 minutes every single game. He should be a nailed on starter in this team. And I think AC Milan, as a title challenging team, they will absolutely have a use for Pulisic, even if it's just as a bench piece, which it won't be. But I think this is the perfect move for his career. Dylan, what do you think?
I think the key to him is always staying healthy. As long as he can stay healthy at AC Milan this season, he will flourish. He will be one of the best players in Serie A. He could be one of the best players in Europe, as far as I'm concerned. That being said, he's going to be pushed out of his normal spot. He's usually flourishing as a left winger. Rafael Leao is not getting pushed out of that spot anytime soon. I personally really like him as a 10. I think he plays the best there for the United States. And in the few opportunities we saw him playing there at Chelsea, very, very few and far between, he was pretty good there as well. So I think if they're going to put him in that 10, I think that's the best spot for him rather than putting him on the right, which is a spot that still needs to be filled at Milan. Salamakers looks to be on his way out. Macias already out to Torino. So if they are going to bring in another player, it's interesting to see, are they going to bring in a 10? Are they going to bring in a right winger? Because that'll decide where Pulisic plays. I think Pulisic's going to be the most important attacker on this team other than Rafael Leao.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really interesting one formation wise because I said this to you, Dylan, I think yesterday or the day before. I think Christian Pulisic plays his best when he's playing on the left. You said he plays his best in a 10. I think that after consideration, it's not necessarily that I believe he plays his best when he's playing on the left side. He just plays his best when he's getting consistent game time. And now
Yeah.
that's true for every player in the world. I'm not going to say that's, an untrue thing for most players, but the drop off for Pulisic when he's playing every match day to once every other game is completely and utterly insane. It's a very significant drop off when Pulisic gets on form and he's playing every week. He I agree with you, Dylan, can look like one of the best players in the league, potentially one of the best players in Europe if he's playing, in a good Milan side. When he's playing every other game, he just doesn't he never gets his footing, he never gets comfortable. So wherever AC Milan end up playing him, I think he can play on the left, he can play as the 10, he can play on the right. Any of those three positions will work. He's done all three for Chelsea, he's done all three for the United States. I think any one of them will work. He just needs consistent game time. And by consistent game time, that can't be moving from the left in one week to the right in another week and then back to the 10. He's got to play the same spot
Yes, exactly.
every single week. That's the mistake Chelsea's made a lot of times. They've played him on the left and he's had a good performance, and then they've brought Hakim Ziyech and put him on the left and moved Pulisic over to the right. They've done a lot of random things. Hakim Ziyech is just one example. He needs to play the same position every week for 10 weeks and then watch his performances.
I fully agree with that. And I think that's what I see going forward for Pulisic is that's going to be happening
Mm-hmm.
as long as he stays healthy. Because AC
Yeah.
Milan, realistically, they lost Brahim Diaz. They're shopping De Ketelaere. De Ketelaere is horrible either way, and they sold Macias. They're losing Salamakers. They're not going to expect Aster Franks to step into that cam role yet. They've just got vacancies in offensive positions, and Christian Pulisic is a perfect way to fill that.
Interestingly, in our last podcast, Dylan, you said Charles de Ketelaere was your worst signing of the entire year.
Yeah,
Um, I wouldn't be shocked if de Ketelaere moved on to the right from Milan.
he's
I
never
would
played on
not
the
be.
right.
He has never played on the right, but I think that it's a position that in this AC Milan team, I don't necessarily think he would do a bad job of it. I think that De Ketelaere would,
It's
in
just
in a
hard.
sense,
It's
almost
hard
play
for
like
me
a
to
second
see the
striker.
Milan Curva Sud allowing him to play just because he
I
was
think
so bad.
but as bad as he was, how many games did he play last year? 35 of the 38.
37 of the 38.
So I think that even that they would have seen by game 30 or so that he was playing really badly, and he kept
They
playing.
wanted to give him a chance because he's a youngster. They
But
paid
I
him.
think
He's
that the
got all the
chance is not necessarily over. I think that they're just going to move him around. They're going to try.
I don't
They
know.
paid for a certain player. He played really well before joining AC. He played really badly with AC. I think we could see him play on the right, and it'll be an interesting system. I think he'll play more as a second striker from the right hand side, leaving Pulisic the freedom to roam on the right and through the
I
middle.
see what you're going for, but they're already trying to shop him. AC Milan are very keen on letting him leave while he still has value in their eyes.
Yeah, but I think he's right now with Giroud, Pulisic, and Leao. He's their fourth best attacker.
That's not good for a title challenging
It's
team.
not good for a title challenging team, and I think they should bring someone else in. But I think if they need him to, we saw how good of a player he is. We saw he has the quality. He hasn't shown it for Milan yet.
Yeah. I don't think he's all that. I really never did. I thought he was an interesting prospect just because he's a 6'4" striker who's not particularly known for his hold up play. He's more of a ball skills type player, but it just didn't work out. He
No,
was
it didn't work out last year. I think they may give him another chance. They may not, but I could definitely see him playing on the right hand side for this team.
I mean,
Um,
that's where he would have to go because there's nowhere
yeah,
else he
no,
fits in.
absolutely, because
Yeah.
he's not going to play in the middle of the field because he's not that good.